Hi everyone, Bruce here at eTrailer. Today we're going to take a look at and install our Curt Universal 4-pole wiring kit on our 2025 Kia Sorento. The reason we're installing the Universal kit over the custom wiring kit is because we found that the actual plugs in our taillights don't match up with the custom wiring kit on our 2025 Kia Sorento Hybrid. And what this kit is actually going to give you is a 4-pole wiring for a trailer connector. It allows you to hold a small utility trailer or any accessories you may have that have lights on them. This will work that as well. All right, to begin our install, we'd need to go ahead and remove both tail lights. We are working on the driver's side, and you're just going to pry down on these tabs a little bit and pop them down. And then we will take our 10mm and go ahead and unscrew those. Removing the tail light is the same process on the other side. You may need a plastic trim tool, but a lot of times you'll just pull straight out. Now you want to pull straight back and they'll pop out. And then we need to go ahead and unplug them. Just like that, and set the tail light aside. Our brown, yellow, and red need to go to the driver's side tail light. If you notice here, they're pretty short. So I am going to go ahead and extend these because they're going to run all the way from the bottom, all the way and pop out where our tail light is. And this is what we ended up doing. We used heat shrink butt connectors, and we went ahead and extended our lines. Now we've got to go ahead and fish down where our tail light goes. And these wires are coming up right here. We've got some airline laying around. That's what we're gonna use. But if you've got a fish tape or something like that, that'll work too. We're just gonna fish that down to the bottom of the vehicle. Now that we have our airline tubing fished down, we're gonna go ahead and tape our wires on. And now we're just gonna tape the red, brown, and yellow. We don't need the rest of them at this time. Just make them secure enough to where they don't come off as we're pulling it up. And we're going to go ahead and pull that up. Now the kit does come with these splicers here. We don't really use these here at the shop. We continue to use the shrink wrapped butt connectors, because they'll help from corrosion and any debris getting inside our connection. On our plug that goes into the actual taillight, we need to find out on these three here, which ones are which. In our particular case, this is our left turn signal, this is our brake, and this is our running lights. Okay, if we take our plug that was plugged into our taillight, unplug that, and our gray wire is our left turn, which is going to be our yellow. And then our green and orange is our brake light, which is going to be red. And our brown is going to connect to the green and black, which is our running lights. I'm going to go ahead and start with the left turn signal. We do have to cut this, strip it back. Now we're going to put our butt connector on this one. Give that a tug to make sure we've got a good connection. And now we're going to take our other end of our gray and our yellow, and that's going to go together into the other side of the butt connector. I'm going to go ahead and twist those two together and put it in our butt connector. Now you're going to do the same thing with the remaining wires here, keeping in mind which one goes where. So this was our brake light, which is going to be red, and then this is our running lights, which is going to go to this one. Now, just like our other connections we made, we're going to go ahead and heat these up and shrink these down so we keep any water and debris out of our connections. So I took a zip tie to the wires coming up that we ran just to keep any tension off of our connections. At this point, we can go ahead and put our driver's side light back in. We need to go ahead and plug it in till it clicks, just like that. I'm going to take it, and these two tabs right here need to go back in these white pieces, like so. Take our module, and we do have some double-sided tape here, and we're just using a double-sided tape to hold that up for us, and we're going to run a screw where the screw hole is. I'm going to mount this right up here, and now we're going to take a self-tapping screw and screw it, a self-tapping screw to hold the module up. All right, this is our ground wire. We're gonna go ahead and ground it right here. Just find a good location that doesn't have any rust or dirt or paint. Take our self-tapper and we're gonna run right into the side. Just make sure there's nothing on the back side that you're gonna hit. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the rest of our wires ran. Now the green one needs to go all the way across into our other taillight, which is the passenger side. And our four-way is gonna go right here to the hitch. I'm just gonna run those up above, and we'll show you our route we took here in a little bit. Now the way we ran the wires, we just went kind of up over the frame here and just followed another wire loom going all the way across. This is our green wire going over to our right taillight. And this is our four-way for our trailer plug. And the four-way just drops down right down to our hitch there. Just make sure you give yourself plenty, but tie up any excess you do have. That way it's not flopping around riding on the road. Now our green wire come over to the passenger side, and we connected that to our white with the black stripe, which is our right turn signal. Now this is our power wire. We do have to run a black wire all the way up to our battery, and that's what this one is. And we just need to make this connection, again, using a heat shrink butt connector. Again, make sure we got good connections, pull on them. Now all we gotta do is heat it up, shrink that down, and we'll clean up the wiring a little bit, and then we gotta make our connections up at the battery. So if we just follow the black wire, that's our power wire that I just connected. We follow that around. That does have to go all the way up front. Just keep in mind you don't want to get it around any heat sources or anything that can pinch it. So if you see it coming up here, running through here, and then straight down, and it's following brake lines up underneath this cover, and it pokes out right here. And that just goes straight up to our battery. Now the black wire we ran to the back just comes straight up and runs along this tube where I tied it, and we're gonna attach it to this positive lug underneath here. We lift the cover off, set it aside. We're going to attach our positive right here on this 10mm nut. So we're gonna go ahead and cut that black wire right here, strip it back because we've got a inline fuse that we need to put in. Now, we have removed the fuse before we do make our connections. You want to put the fuse in after we make our connections. Again, using our shrink wrap butt connectors. The kit does include a ring terminal as well, which we already crimped down on the other side of our fuse holder. Now we're going to go ahead and take that 10mm. We're going to take this nut loose. Just snug that down, don't over tighten it. We'll go ahead and take our 15 amp fuse that the kit came with, and we're going to go ahead and install that now. Once we get that installed, we can go ahead and test our four-way. All right, we're going to go ahead and test out our lights. make sure everything's working. We got left turn with brake, right turn with brake, and we have our running lights. And that was a look at our Curt Universal 4-pole wiring kit on our 2025 Kia Sorento.